The slap echoed louder than anyone expected. Not because it was hard, but because it was so sudden. The entire room just froze. Rohit staggered back, his hands still raised, his eyes burning with anger and something deeper, something wounded. His son Karan stood there, completely stunned, one hand slowly rising to his cheek. Neither of them said a word. In the corner, Meena stood silently, her dupatta clenched in her fists, her eyes lowered to the floor. Yes, she had been insulted, but the sound of that slap hurt her far more than the harsh words that came before it. It all started like so many arguments do. Small, careless, sharp. Karan was frustrated. He was dealing with pressure at work, money issues, just one of those days where nothing went right. And when his mother, Meena, simply asked him to eat, when she suggested he try patience instead of anger, something ugly just escaped his mouth. "You wouldn't understand," he had snapped. "You never earned anything. You just stayed at home." The sentence hung in the air, thick and heavy. Meena didn't respond. She never did. She just turned away quietly, the way she always had, absorbing disrespect the way mothers absorb pain, without a single complaint. That's when Rohit, his father, stood up. "What did you say?" he asked, his voice calm but firm. Karan just rolled his eyes. "I'm just telling the truth." And then came the slap. Sharp, clean. Final, Karan stared at his father in disbelief. "You hit me," he shouted. "For that?" Rohit's voice was steady, but you could see his hands were trembling. "Yes, for speaking honestly," Karan demanded. Rohit stepped closer, his eyes locked on his son's. "No," he said quietly. "For forgetting who you are." Karan let out a bitter laugh. "She's my mother. So what? That gives her the right to interfere in everything." That's when Meena finally looked up. "It's fine," she said softly. "Please, don't fight because of me." But her words seemed to break something in Rohit. He turned to her, his voice suddenly heavy with emotion. "No," he said. "It's not fine, and it never was." He looked back at Karan. "Do you know why I hit you?" Karan said nothing. Rohit took a deep breath. Because the first time a man disrespects his mother and walks away without consequence, he learns that it's acceptable. A heavy silence filled the room. "When I was your age," Rohit continued, "I was angry too. Broke, too. Frustrated. And one day, I spoke to my mother the same way you just spoke to yours." Karan's expression changed slightly. A flicker of understanding in his eyes. "She didn't answer," Rohit said. "She just went into the kitchen. He swallowed hard, and my father did exactly what I just did." Meena looked at Rohit, completely surprised. "I hated him for it," Rohit admitted. "For years, I thought he chose her over me." He looked at Charan with tired, knowing eyes. But later, I understood something. Charan frowned. "What? That respect is not about power," Rohit said. "It's about roots. The day you insult the woman who carried you, fed you, and protected you, you insult the very foundation you stand on." Karan's jaw tightened. "You think she never worked?" Rohit continued, gesturing toward Meena. "She worked every single hour of her life so that you could live yours freely." Meena's eyes began to fill with tears. "She skipped meals so you wouldn't have to," Rohit said, his voice thick with emotion. "She stayed awake all night when you were sick. She swallowed her own pride so you could grow up confident." Karan looked away, unable to meet his father's gaze. "You can be angry," Rohit said firmly. "You can fail. You can shout at the entire world." He paused, letting the words sink in. "But the day you use your mother as an emotional punching bag, that is the day you stop being a man." Those words hit harder than the slap ever could. Karan's breathing slowed. He glanced over at his mother. She stood there, looking smaller than usual, as if she was trying to disappear into the walls. "Ma," he said, his voice hesitant. She looked at him, but didn't speak. "I didn't mean," his voice cracked. "I was just angry." Meena nodded, a gentle understanding in her eyes. "I know," she said softly. "I always know. That forgiveness, so instant and unconditional, shamed him more than anything else." Karan turned back to his father. "You could have explained," he muttered. "You didn't have to hit me." Rohit nodded slowly. "You're right." He placed a hand on Karan's shoulder. But some lessons aren't heard when they're spoken softly. Later that night, Karan stood outside his mother's room. "Ma," he said gently. She looked up. "I'm sorry," he said. "Not because Papa hit me, but because you didn't deserve that." She smiled faintly and reached out, touching his face, the same cheek that still burned. "It's okay," she said. "Just remember." He nodded. In the next room, Rohit sat alone. He hadn't wanted to raise his hand, but he knew something his son didn't know yet. A father can tolerate disrespect toward himself. But when it comes to a mother, silence becomes failure. And sometimes, a single act isn't about violence, it's about protection. Protection of values, of dignity, and of the woman who taught a man how to stand, long before he ever learned how to speak. Thank you for watching. If this story touched you, please share it and subscribe for more content that makes you think.